how are you? I hope all are you good. Today let we start SST chapter number 40, water on the earth यानी कि पृथ्वी पर. The earth is sometimes called the watery plants. क्या बोला जाता है पृथ्वी को? Watery planet. Because it is in the only planet in the solar system where water is found in all the three states of matter, liquid, solid and gases. तो ये एक ऐसा वो है planet जिस पर पानी है और वो तीन रूपों में है यहाँ पे, लिक्विड, सॉलिड और गैसेस. Water is very valuable in terms of heat retention that make it useful resources for survival and growth of plants and animals. So our body is mostly water, 60-70%. Large amount of heat must flow in and out of our bodies to bring about temperature changes. ठीक है, तो पानी हर सभी के लिए काम आता है, जीव जंतु, जानवर, इंसान, सबको पानी की जरूरत है. Similar is the case with oceans which contain 71% of all water on the earth. These water bodies do not change temperature rapidly. So, as do land masses, like continents, like air, water is also composed of gases. It consists of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen, H2O. On account of this property of water life, it also found in oceans. We already know that the life on the earth originated in the oceans. The amount of water on the surface of the earth is fixed. There is approximately the same amount of water present on the earth as it was during the ice age. The total amount of water on the earth is estimated to be about 360 million cubic kilometers. Most of it is in the oceans, i.e. about 97%. Hydrological cycle. Water continuously moves between hydrosphere, atmosphere and lithosphere. This never-ending movement of water is called the water cycle of hydrological cycle. The processes taking part in this cyclic movement of water are evaporation, condensation and precipitation. We have already read about them in the previous chapter. So the sunlight falling on the surface of the ocean causes seawater to evaporate. Evaporation also takes place from all creatures in the biosphere. The return of water vapor into atmosphere by plants is called transpiration. Animals do that through perspiration to keep themselves cool. For evaporation to take place, the temperature must remain below the boiling point. When water vapor rises in the atmosphere, condensation begins. It happens because temperature decreases with altitude at higher level. The cooling air has less capacity to hold water vapor. During condensation, vapor is changed into water droplets or ice crystals. These tiny water droplets and ice crystals rise further up into atmosphere where they form foam clouds during this journey. Many water droplets or ice crystals join together to form bigger droplets. When the air is unable to hold them, they fall to the earth as precipitation. Fresh water and saline water. The total stock of water and the flows in streams and river or is stored in fresh water, lakes, ice caps and glaciers is fresh water. So, the some quantity of groundwater is also fresh water. Groundwater is the water that percolates underground during precipitation. Fresh water also includes the moisture in atmosphere. The total stock of fresh water is less than 3% of the total amount of water on the earth. It means that the remaining water in seas, oceans and some lakes is saline water. So water that contains dissolved salt is termed as saline. So salinity in ocean water varies from region to region and place to place. Sea water generally contains in 35 out of 1000 parts salinity. The water is Dead Sea in more saline because here there in more evaporation of water. The comparison and importance of fresh and saline water are also follows. So comparison between saline and fresh water. क्या इनकी तुलना की जाए तो क्या है? सबसे पहले बात करते हैं saline water. It is the water found in oceans and some inland lakes. It constitutes about 97% of the total amount of water found on the earth. It flows in river, freshwater lakes, ice sheets, glaciers, and underground water. It constitutes about 3% of the total amount of water on the earth. The more saline the water, the slower it freezes. Its boiling point is also higher. Its freezing point is 0 degrees Celsius and boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius. Saline water evaporates slowly. Fresh water evaporates quickly. It is much more dense than fresh water. A man seldom drowns in it, and even can float easily in the Dead Sea since the density of the water is very high. It is less dense. This means that a man has great difficulty staying afloat in it as compared to seawater. Water budget. The ratio of fresh and saline water varies from one part of the earth to another part depending on climate conditions. The overall ratio, however, remains constant. It can also be seen from the hydrological cycle that there is also equilibrium between evaporation, transpiration, and total precipitation over both land and oceans. The same equilibrium is maintained by water in oceans, saline water and fresh water. The given pie chart shows fresh water in its liquid, solid, and gaseous states. It has also remained fairly constant. Given this limited quantity of fresh water, our earth is on a kind of water budget. The water budget is like a financial budget. Income and expenditure plus balances must tally. Hence, evaporation plus transpiration is the expenditure, while water received on the earth in the form of precipitation is the income. Through the processes of evaporation, condensation, and precipitation, water maintains a state of equilibrium, and disturbance in this equilibrium and balances the water budget. वाटर पोल्यूशन में क्या होता है? वही चीजें, कूड़ा कचरा फेंकते हैं, फैक्ट्रीज का, कंपनीज का गंदा पानी जाता है. लाइक पोल्यूशन ऑफ एयर, ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज आर ऑल्सो कॉजिंग पोल्यूशन ऑफ वन ऑफ द मोस्ट प्रीशियस resources on the earth, i.e. water. So liquid wastes are the biggest source of water pollution. Industry, agriculture, and municipal waste, even when dumped on land, flow into rivers, lakes, and oceans. These wastes contains many dangerous chemicals which pose a threat to both plant and animal life. सबके लिए खतरनाक है ये. The pesticides and insecticides used in agriculture, as well as fly ash discharge by power plants, have been found accumulating as far away as the Arctic Ocean. The pollutants in ocean water also destroy plankton, the bottom of the food chain for fish and other marine animals. This is endangering all marine life. So water pollution is also responsible for many types of diseases in humans. It is therefore high time that we took adequate and urgent steps at each and every level to combat pollution of land, air, and water. Water conservation signifies protection, preservation, and efficient utilization of water. We must learn to regard it as precious resources. As the population of the world grows, each person is getting less and less water. It requires planning as well as organization to make the best use of the limited freshwater resources on the earth. Some of the water saving tips are: what are the tips? We must close tap after using them and properly repair leaking or beached water pipes, canals, and river banks. We should practice rooftop harvesting of rainwater by adopting some standard techniques. We should learn water harvesting techniques and implement in our surrounding area. We must not throw waste in water. We must prevent water pollution of any kind. We must control the misuse of water. We should make water conservation a way of distribution of major water bodies. Oceans are the largest water bodies on the earth's surface. There are 4 oceans on the surface of the earth. In order of their size, they are the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and the Arctic Ocean. There is a large water body around Antarctica, which is something called the Southern Ocean. One is Pacific Ocean. It is the largest of the ocean. It separates Asia and Australia from North America. It is estimated that it covers an area of about 166,884,380 square kilometer, which is greater than the area of all the continents put together. It is not only the largest but also the deepest of all the oceans. ठीक है, सबसे गहरा. So Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean, about 11,022 meter deep, is the deepest place in the world. Second one is the Atlantic Ocean, Atlantic Mahasagar. It separates Europe and Africa from the North and South America. It is the busiest ocean in the world, as all the important sea routes pass through the Atlantic Ocean. There are many important harbors on its coastline. The Indian Ocean. It is the only ocean named after a country, i.e. India. It lies to the south of India, west of Indonesia, and Australia, and east of America. The Arctic Ocean. It surrounded the North Pole and lies within the Arctic Circle. A narrow stretch of water called Bering Strait connects it with the Pacific Ocean. It is bounded by Russia, Scandinavia, Greenland, Canada, and Alaska. Besides the oceans, there are smaller water bodies such as seas, bays, and gulfs. Oceans are vast expanses of salt water covering the great part of the surface of the earth. Seas are also quite vast, but they are smaller in size as compared to oceans and are almost surrounded by land. A gulf is a deep inlet of the sea almost surrounded by land with a narrow mouth, while a bay is an inlet of the sea with a wider opening than a gulf. So you must have read about the Arabian Sea, the Bay of Bengal, and the Persian Gulf. Look at your atlas to find out some more such water bodies. So calculation of ocean water. The water in the ocean is always moving. Its properties make it move both horizontally and vertically. These movements are due to differences in temperatures and salinity, variation in the density of water, and prevailing winds. The three types of movements of ocean, water, and waves, tides and currents. Waves are caused by the action of the wind against the wave tops. The faster the wind, the higher the waves. Water itself does not move to and fro, but rises and falls and comes to the same position. After each wave, the highest part of the wave is called the crest. The lowest, the throw, the distance from crest to crest or from through to through is called the length of the wave or the wavelength. The vertical height of the crest above the throw is called amplitude or height of the wave. High velocity winds give rise to high waves, which are dangerous particularly for ships. Such waves and cyclones cause huge destructions of life and property on the eastern coast of India. So next one is tides. What is tides? The periodical vertical rise and fall of the surface of the sea water is called a tide. Okay, the rising of water is called the high tide or up tide, while the falling of water is known as low tide or down tide. Tides are caused by the gravitational pull of the moon and the sun. So actually the tides follow the apparent movement of the moon in the sky. Due to its closeness to Earth, tides are useful to us. They help in navigation and fishing. So at high tide, the depth of the sea, particularly gulfs and bays, increases. This enables big ships to enter or leave harbors easily. Due to high tides in the Hooghly River, the depth of the water increases. As a result, big ships enter and leave Kolkata port, which is situated on the banks of this river. So some ports such as Kandla in Gujarat and Diamond Harbour in West Bengal depend on tides. So most of the important ports of the world such as London, Hamburg, New York and Rotterdam are on tidal rivers. At some places tides take away the mud brought down by rivers and prevents silting of harbors. Thus, tide makes some rivers suitable for navigation. When there is an earthquake or volcanic eruption on the ocean floor, it causes disturbances in ocean water. These disturbances called tsunami. So they are also called tidal waves. Shock waves caused by undersea tectonic plate movements can cause earthquakes. These shock waves travel through the ocean and cause a kind of storms. In fact, a series of waves are generated called a train of waves. The waves in the middle are the largest. They are the throw of the waves. The throw moves forward and the crest becomes larger. The crest of T tsunami rises like a wall of water 40 feet or higher and rushes towards land at very high speed as the waves enter the shallow waters or cause the huge wall of water collapse. And smashes everything under it. It then rushes back towards the ocean on account of gravity. This is called backwash. If there are no trees along the coast, tsunami waves wash away the soil and cause considerable damage to human habitations and all life forms. It destroys smaller ships, boats, houses, and other structures, including harbor infrastructure on the coast. Since a distance of 100 to 125 kilometers separates each tsunami wave, the damage is sustained over a long period of time. Tsunami of December 2004. On December 25, 2004, a massive undersea earthquake triggered a tsunami not for Banda Aceh, a coastal town in South Sumatra and major island of Indonesia. So the intensity of the earthquake was the highest in the recorded history. The tsunami waves generated by this earthquake traveled western. So the impact was felt in 14 countries of far away as the east coast of Africa. More than 3 lakhs person, most of them in Indonesia, and 10,000 in India fell victim to these waves. So there were huge damage of life and property. What? Billions of rupees. बहुत billion उसमें नुकसान हुआ था. Some causes of this massive damage were absence of vegetation on the coasts, timing of the earthquakes, early morning, and indicate provisions for early warning to hundreds of tourists in the area, and almost complete breakdown of communication network. Ocean currents. An ocean current is a continuous flow of ocean water in a particular direction. It is like a river flowing in the ocean, its water having different temperature, salinity and density from the surrounding water. Ocean currents are driven by wind and differences in temperature of ocean water. An ocean current carries a huge quantity of water at speeds ranging from 2 to 10 km per hour. A shallow and slow moving surface current is called a drift. A drift has a speed of 1 to 3 km per day. When ocean currents or drafts flow from low to high latitudes, they are warm currents. Those moving from high to low altitudes are cold currents. A warm current is not really warm. Its temperature is only a few degrees higher than of the surrounding water. Similarly, the temperature of a cold current is slightly lower than that of the surrounding water. Principal ocean currents of the world. Name of the current: Agulhas current, Brazilian drift, equatorial drift, Florida current, Gulf Stream, Kuroshio current, North Atlantic draft, North equatorial current, and South equatorial current. So then, direction of movement. It is the second fastest current in the oceans and flows south along the east coast of South Africa. Then this, a branch of the South equatorial current, it flows along the east coast of South America to meet a cold current, Falkland current of the North Atlantic Ocean. It moves south of the Indian Ocean through the Atlantic and continues to journey through the Pacific. Then Florida current, it flows as Gulf Stream in the North Atlantic along southeast coast of the United States to continue its journey northward. It flows from the Gulf of Mexico and passes through the Florida Strait. So it flows along the northeast. Next one is Kuroshio. Northeast coast of Japan and the Pacific Ocean. It also moves northward. So next one is North Atlantic. It flows into the Gulf Stream described above. And North Equatorial, it joins Canada's current and flows into Gulf of Guinea. And next one is South Equatorial. It flows east and separates into 2 divisions at Cape St. Roque. Name of the current and direction of the movement. Cold current. Aleutian drift, Benguela current, East Greenland, Falkland drift, Labrador, North Pacific, Oyashi, and Peary. Formed by joining together Japan Drift and Okhotsk Drift, it flows eastward. It flows northward along the west coast of Africa as well as south of Gulf of Guinea in the South Atlantic. It flows south and southwest after rising in the Arctic Ocean. It carries numerous icebergs. It flows northward along the east coast of Argentina and meets Brazilian Drift. It flows south along the east of Greenland. It is formed by convergence of Japan and Okhotsk Current. It moves southernward the Bering Sea and goes beneath the drift waters of Kuroshio Current. It moves along the South Pacific and across to coast of North Chile, Peru and South Ecuador. The direction of the currents is changed by the shapes of the land masses. Sometimes they split a current into 2 or 3 currents. Currents flowing along the western coast of South America, Africa and Australia are cold currents. So warm currents flow on the eastern coast of these 3 southern continents. Currents generally move to their right in the northern hemisphere and to their left in the southern hemisphere. Influence of ocean currents on temperature. Ocean currents influence the temperature of coastal areas. Warm currents raise and cold currents lower the temperature of the regions along which they flow. On rainfall. Winds blowing over warm currents pick up moisture. When it condenses, it causes heavy rains. On the other hand, winds blowing over cold currents become too cold to pick up moisture. Therefore, they do not cause rains. On marine life. Thick fog is formed where a warm and cold current meet. The bark of steam and the cold Labrador current came together near Newfoundland. This results in the formation of every thick fog. Similarly, thick fog is formed near the coast of Japan where the warm Kuroshio current and the cold Oishio current meet. In this thick fog, plankton, the basic food of fish, flourish in abundances. Now on navigation. Cold currents bring down masses of ice from polar regions while warm currents melt them. Warm currents even prevent ports in polar regions from the freezing over in water. The coast of Norway, though situated within the Arctic Circle, does not freeze in winter due to the warm North Atlantic drift. On the other hand, the Labrador coast of Canada, though situated at lower latitudes, remain frozen during winter due to the cold Labrador current. So here all topics are covered in this chapter. I hope you all are very well understand and enjoyed it. We will meet you next class. Thank you.